I gave my mother-in-law a fake copy of our house key and exposed her at Christmas dinner. I married my husband last year. His mom is extremely snoopy and annoying as F. She can't help it and it's just how she is, as my lovely in-laws say. So my husband and I moved into a new house recently and my mother-in-law kept pushing to get an emergency house key that she can use. She promised us that she would only use the key for an emergency, but given the fact that she had a key for our old apartment and she walked in on us being intimate twice, I was sure I did not want to give her a key. It wasn't out of the ordinary for her to just barge in during any waking moment. But, my husband didn't think it was a big deal, and ensured me to just give her the key. I just felt like I couldn't trust this woman, but since she kept pushing, I gave in and gave her a key. But little did she know, I had sent her a fake key, and no one knew besides me. She had the most smug look on her face when I hand-delivered her the key. She was so happy to take back her control. So weeks go by, and on Christmas dinner my mother-in-law angrily calls me out in front of the entire family that I gave her a fake key. She shamed me for doing this in front of everybody, and told everybody how disrespectful I am. So in my defense I asked her how she'd found out it was fake. She said that her and her husband were out while me and my husband weren't home, and wanted to come inside the house and take a look. So at that point I reminded her, "Didn't you say you would only use it if there was an emergency? So basically you tried to get in when there was no emergency, breaking the promise that you made to us." She started to go red in the face and everyone started to stare at her. Some of the family even laughed at her for how red she was. She then got up from her seat and ran into the bathroom where she had the biggest meltdown I've ever seen. I've never heard a 60-plus-year-old woman throw a tantrum. I mean, she was literally crying and screaming so loud that the neighbors knocked on the door to see if everything was alright. My husband and his sisters kept giving me looks and then my husband screamed at me in the car. He called me a liar and said I humiliated and manipulated his mom. He is now demanding that I apologize to his mom and accusing me of ruining Christmas dinner because of my childish behavior. Shame me for working a loser job? Fine, I'll just buy your dream car. I, 25-year-old female, work a corporate job at the biggest fast food chain. I won't say the exact title, but I don't work at an office and spend most of my time visiting and coaching stores and associates. Because of this, my entire family is under the impression that I have a loser job, despite the fact that I'm making well over $100,000 a year. I think this perception is exasperated by the fact that I'm typically a frugal person who doesn't tend to surround myself with expensive things. My cousin, 30-year-old male, is a physics professor and has done little to hide the fact that he looks down upon me because of my job. From what I understand, we make similar money but he's still paying off his doctorate degree, while I never went to college. But he has a much bigger house and mortgage with 2 kids. I'm child-free, meaning, I have much more disposable income than he does. For the past 3 years, he's been talking about how he really wants his dream car, a Tesla Model X. He's slowly been saving money for it but has nowhere close to the amount of money. He'll joke about how much he wants it by describing how he sees it in his dreams every night in exquisite detail. Well, a couple months back while we were at my mom's birthday party, my cousin made yet another backhanded joke saying I'll never get a real job, and we'll never make real money. This was the last straw. I was so beyond pissed and went back home immediately after the party and ordered a Tesla Model X for myself, exactly to the specifications he has been describing for the past 3 years. A couple of weeks ago it arrived. I picked up my brand new car and brought it home. I didn't tell a single soul in my family that I bought it, but yesterday I made plans to pick up my cousin's son to babysit him, so I knew it was finally time. I rolled up to my cousin's house in my shiny new Tesla Model X, that has been washed and polished just that morning specifically for this meetup. Needless to say, cousin was pissed. He asked me all about it with strained enthusiasm and got visibly more angry the more he noticed it was exactly like the one he wanted. After fumbling around his words and visibly sweating, he tried to make a comment about how it must have been an adventure to find a bank willing to give you a loan so big. I laughed him off and casually told him I wouldn't know since I paid in cash, which is 100% true. He questioned me, so I pulled up a picture on my phone of the title with my name on it. I think that was what broke him because he quickly ended the conversation and went back inside. Now I'm getting messages from his siblings saying how I'm so petty. And while I adore my new Tesla Model X, getting back at my cousin wasn't as satisfying as I thought I'd be. Now I'm really starting to think I'm the jerk. So am I?
I laughed at my sister for giving her baby an anime name, so she blasted me on TikTok and ruined my life. My sister has been obsessed with anime her entire life. As a kid, she would buy all the posters and toys and go to the conventions. I didn't think it was a big deal. I thought she would grow out of it, but now she's an adult and it's really starting to affect her life. When she got her first boyfriend, I was happy for them. They were a perfect match. They both loved anime, and went to all the anime conventions and went on a vacation to Japan. The problem was, my sister got pregnant only after 2 months of seeing him. Although our family was super displeased with this, she was super excited and had the baby. She had a boy and he was born 2 weeks ago. When I asked her what her baby was named, she said his name was Deku, the name of one of her favorite anime characters. I couldn't help but burst out laughing. I told her that her kid is gonna end up getting bullied and she better change his name as quickly as she could. She got super offended, and said that she knows how it feels to be named Deku because she dresses up like the character and fills his room with anime merch. I told her that has nothing to do with his name but I just let it go. I can't help but think he will grow up to hate anime and resent his mother for giving him this stupid name and basically forcing the culture on him. Well, apparently, I'm not the only one who had a problem with this whole anime thing. My sister's husband didn't like it either. In fact, he was so fed up with it, he filed for divorce. Now they are going through this messy divorce because she won't let this anime thing go. I thought I would help my sister by making her see how dumb her anime obsession is and how it's ruining her life. I invited her over for dinner. We chatted for a while. Then I started telling her that maybe she should see her husband's side of things. My sister wasn't having any of it. She said, how dare I interfere with her life and marriage. She ended up taking my plate of dinner and throwing it on the ground. Glass shattered everywhere. Soon after, she kicked me out and told me to never come back. The next day I was scrolling on social media, TikTok to be exact. On my For You page, I see my sister. She made this huge rant about me and changed things around to try and make it seem like I was being offensive against Japanese culture because I didn't approve of her baby naming decision. The post included several pictures of me at all of my personal social media accounts. I had hundreds of messages from angry anime lovers. I tried to defend myself, but every time I tried to explain it, people would twist what I was saying to make it seem like I was being offensive. My own family won't even talk to me anymore. Am I the jerk? My fiancée excluded my daughter from our wedding. After I took back the engagement ring, she came crawling back. I, 43 male, have a young daughter, Bella, from my last relationship. I divorced my ex-wife on good terms and we share split custody of Bella. She is now 11. After I divorced my ex-wife, I met my now fiancé, Sammy. Sammy and Bella get along super well. After 4 years into my relationship with Sammy, I finally proposed to her. She was excited and wanted to start planning our wedding as quickly as possible. She started to look at different venues and began asking her friends to be her bridesmaids. Sammy then told me she wanted a flower girl, which I loved the idea, and I said I would love for Bella to be our flower girl. Sammy looked at me weird and said that Bella wouldn't fit the part. I asked why and Sammy just kind of ignored me. I got super angry and told Sammy that my daughter would be in our wedding whether she likes it or not. Sammy started to become visibly upset, and told me that all the girls in the wedding were all up to her, and Bella wouldn't be there. I told Sammy that if Bella wasn't in the wedding, then there might not be a wedding at all. I then told her to choose wisely. I stormed out and took Bella to get some ice cream at a local pizzeria. Bella knows we are getting married soon and she said that she thinks she will look super pretty in whatever dress Sammy wants her to wear. This shattered my heart and I decided to text Sammy that I would be staying at a friend's house for the time being, and need some alone time to think. Then my mother-in-law texts me saying that I'm way overreacting and that my daughter doesn't have to be in my wedding, and it's no big deal. And I was being a complete jerk for saying that I would cancel the wedding on her. So I came home to talk to Sammy today. When I pulled into the driveway, I saw my mother-in-law sitting in her car, parked on the opposite side of the road. I got out and went inside trying my best to avoid talking to my mother-in-law. Sammy was sitting at the kitchen table and I joined her. Why does Bella not fit the part? And why don't you want her in the wedding at all? Her answer full-on shocked me. She quietly said, I was hoping that after the wedding, you could become a holiday visit-only dad, like a dad that only sees her a couple times per year. I didn't want her in the wedding so I wouldn't see her in photos around since she wasn't going to be around much anymore. I calmly took her hand and pulled my engagement ring off. Her eyes started to tear up. I told her I wanted her things moved out by tomorrow and that she could come get them when my daughter wasn't home. She ran out of the house crying, pleading me to forgive her. Our honeymoon was supposed to be in Hawaii. Looks like me and Bella will be going instead.
My entitled sister demanded to take my fat wedding dress because she's pregnant. After I refused, she came up with a solution. Her solution was insane. 2 months ago, my younger sister Lucy and her partner had a big dinner with lots of people because they had important news. They learned a few weeks before that they're going to have a baby. Everyone was happy for them, but after calming down, Lucy stood up and thanked me. She thanked me for being a kinder and bigger sister and said she expected my wedding dress from me for her wedding with a baby belly. I was surprised and tried to figure out what she meant as nicely as I could. My stepmom said it's just sister joking that I never get. I felt embarrassed by it all and cried in front of everyone. I went to the bathroom while my stepmom made fun of me, telling me to act mature. Lucy said I spoiled her happiest news but I couldn't get it because I choose not to have kids. I then asked her bluntly why she thought I'd give her my wedding dress. Turns out she and my stepmom thought that since my wedding is in March, and I'm bigger than them, I wouldn't mind lending my dress or buying a new one since I saved money with my advanced degrees. I studied aerospace engineering and theater, and my fiancé studied physics and philosophy. With my degree and skills, I created my wedding dress which they always disliked. My sister said it's fine if it's not changed because I'm so much larger that she'd fit even with a baby. Lucy then said if I don't give her the dress, I'm not her bridesmaid anymore. I said okay and left the bathroom. Only my dad, Lucy's fiancé, and my fiancé were there. They comforted me and said they talked to my stepmom and sister before I went home. The next day, both my sister and stepmom kept calling, saying I'm ruining the family and don't care about my future niece or nephew by not giving Lucy my dress. I didn't answer and got harassed by people supporting them for a week. It got so bad that someone left a mess at my door with a photo of me on it. It stopped only when Lucy's husband-to-be said he'd leave her if she didn't stop. It was quiet until tonight when Lucy called, saying she's ending her pregnancy tomorrow because she can't fit in any dress. She said I could prevent this by just giving her my dress. I told her if she's ending her pregnancy over a dress, she shouldn't have kids. Her baby girl could be a blessing to someone else who'd truly love her, not choosing clothes over her. She said I don't understand being a good parent because I don't have kids. I hung up on her, and she sent me a photo of her appointment details. I told her fiancé everything and showed him her messages. He had no idea about the ending of the pregnancy or the baby's gender and said he'd go home to talk to her about it.